Marshal Teach, most commonly referred to by his epithet Blackbeard, is the captain-turned-admiral of the Blackbeard Pirates, and one of the four emperors. He is also the only known person in history to wield the powers of two devil fruits. He started out his pirate career as an apprentice of the Whitebeard Pirates, then later became a member of the crew's 2nd Division. However, he defected after murdering Thatch, the 4th Division commander, in order to steal the Yami Yami no Mi. Prior to the 2-year timeskip, he briefly held a position among the 7 warlords of the sea after defeating and handing Ace over to the Marines, before resigning upon returning from Impel Down with multiple level 6 prisoners to strengthen his crew. His actions resulted in him being considered a part of the worst generation along with the 11 supernovas. His murder of Whitebeard at the Summit War of Marineford and subsequent stealing of his Gura Gura no Mi power, as well as his victory in the Payback War and conquest of the majority of Whitebeard's territories during the timeskip, resulted in his acknowledgement as one of the 4 emperors. He also turned the island of Hakinosu into his base of operations after the Rocky Port incident. Blackbeard believes people's dreams don't ever end. Blackbeard's personality seems to be a strange mix of courage and cowardice, as well as high intellectual capacity and stupidity. While at times his character looks strong and fearsome, in others he will seem weak and ridiculous. He is very deceptive, joining the Whitebeard Pirates to find the Yami Yami no Mi and killing a fellow crewmate despite having spent 2 decades aboard the ship. He also deceived the Marines by joining the 7 warlords of the sea in an elaborate and convoluted fashion for the sole reason of gaining access to Impel Down in order to find new crewmates and later resigning from it in front of the fleet admiral himself, saying that he does not need it anymore. He is also exceedingly power-hungry and greedy, aiming to become the next pirate king. Blackbeard is also an ungrateful man by nature as described by Marco. Despite the fact that Whitebeard took him in and treated him as a son like the rest of the crew for more than 20 years, Blackbeard did not hesitate to betray his father figure to acquire the devil fruit Thatch found. He then later went on to further show he never had an ounce of respect or care for the Whitebeard Pirates as a whole other than for his own selfish agenda by killing his former captain and claiming all his territories as his own. Blackbeard is a very patient and careful pirate, as stated by Shanks. Unlike other powerful pirates, he never gained renown and remained concealed, up to the point that he only makes his moves when he sees an opportunity for power. One example is his decision to target the Straw Hat, Kid, or Heart Pirates after their adventures in Wano country, allowing him to attack the latter to steal their Road Panaglai etchings, showing his cowardice in obtaining those etchings himself, and instead exploiting other pirates' hard work so he could work towards becoming the Pirate King the easy way, without putting himself in danger. However, despite his careful planning, he tends to rush into battle recklessly, as he was scolded by Augur for going into battle without a battle plan, even endangering the lives of one of his lieutenants and his pet, just to get what he set his mind on, fully accepting injuries that might result from this, ironically sharing this recklessness to rush into battles without a plan just like his archenemy, Monkey D. Luffy. Blackbeard also seems to believe that devil fruit powers are everything you need to be strong, as he was stating to Law that the trade-offs of gaining a devil fruit's unique power were well worth the drawbacks, ignorant of the several disadvantages one has when possessing a devil fruit, namely the inability to swim. As one of the 4 emperors, Blackbeard is one of the 4 most powerful pirates in the world. Even before becoming an emperor, Teach was an immensely powerful pirate, even for a former member of the Whitebeard Pirates and 7 warlords of the sea. At some point in his life, Teach once fought Shanks and gave him the scars on his left eye, with Shanks admitting that the injury did not occur because of carelessness. Their battle led Shanks to cautiously recognize Teach as an extremely dangerous menace. Ace once stated that Blackbeard could have become a commander when he was recommended for the position. The most remarkable thing in these 2 feats is that Teach had not yet eaten a devil fruit. After the Summit War of Marineford, the 5 elders believed that Blackbeard had a one-step lead to usurp the position of emperor that Whitebeard once held, which eventually came to fruition. During the timeskip, he gained mass notoriety with his bounty being set at belly 2,247,600,000, showing how dangerous he had become. For unknown reasons, it was later raised to belly 3,996,000,000, making his bounty the 2nd highest out of the current emperors and the highest among the former warlords of the sea and members of the worst generation. He easily defeated his fellow ex-warlord, Boa Hancock, and even Silvers Rayleigh, the former right hand of the Pirate King, confessed that he would stand no chance against Teach due to his elderly age. The most prominent feats that showcase Teach's incredible power were displayed by him defeating 3 division commanders of the Whitebeard Pirates, Thatch, Portgastede Ace, and later during the Payback War, Marco, the new captain of the Whitebeard Pirates. After the timeskip, he and his crew fought against the Revolutionary Army and destroyed their headquarters on Boltigo, before briefly clashing against the Marines and the Cipher Pole and eventually fleeing the place. Blackbeard has shown himself to be an expert planner and a master at orchestrating manipulative schemes. However, for all his combat prowess and intellect, Blackbeard can be overconfident and careless, as noted by Whitebeard. He has a habit of concentrating too much on conversations with his opponents while fighting them, letting his guard down in the process, a weakness he has demonstrated in his battles against Whitebeard, Luffy, Ace, Magellan, and Law. This usually results in him suffering critical injuries. In fact, if not for Shiria's help, Teach and his entire crew would have been killed by Magellan's poison. Teach has an immense amount of superhuman endurance and durability. During his fight with Ace, he was engulfed in flames and pierced in the chest by 2 fire spears, but after putting out the flames, he was able to shake off the impact of the attacks. Another indication of his sheer endurance is shown when he took a jet pistol from an enraged Luffy, and was hit by one of Sengoku's shockwaves in his Daibutsu form only to come out with minor injuries both times. Teach also shows an incredible tolerance to pain as, despite his devil fruit greatly amplifying the pain he receives, this never stops him for long, demonstrated when he took a point-blank quake bubble attack from Whitebeard to his head and neck without losing consciousness. Through an unknown method, Blackbeard became the first and so far, only known person to wield the powers of 2 devil fruits at the same time. Marco speculated that this was possible due to an unstated peculiarity unique to Blackbeard himself, having to do with an atypical body structure of some sort. He also pointed out that the other Whitebeard pirates should be aware of this fact. With the power of darkness, the Yami Yami no Mi, which reduces anything to nothingness, the most frightening power of the fruit is that it allows Blackbeard to absorb and nullify other people's devil fruit powers. So long as Blackbeard maintains physical contact with the other devil fruit user, it is as if the victim never ate their devil fruit at all, and the power of earthquakes, the Gura Gura no Mi, which brings destruction to everything, he has the power to send incredibly powerful shockwaves through the air, creating cracks in the air itself in the process. Blackbeard claimed himself to be truly invincible and the strongest of them all. Blackbeard has since attempted to acquire other additional devil fruits such as Boa Hancock's Maro Maro no Mi, though it is not known if he has acquired any more abilities yet or how many he has in total. Blackbeard is an extremely skilled user of Busashoku Haki, as he was able to defend himself against Esok's sword slash, which could cut Amazon Lily's large mountain in half, and is also highly skilled user of Kenbunchaku Haki. The Blackbeard Pirates has grown in such numbers that it has been organized into divisions. Blackbeard is supported by 10 Titanic captains. Captain of the first ship Jesus Burgess. Jesus Burgess, better known as the Champion, is the helmsman and one of the 10 Titanic captains of the Blackbeard Pirates, being captain of the first ship. Burgess is brutish and ogre-like, and is also very loud and overbearing. He seems to be overconfident, as he climbed buildings and challenged random people in Jaya, proclaiming himself as the champion. He also appears to have an intense love of combat, wanting to test his skills out on anyone he finds. He especially enjoys strong opponents, as shown when he found out that Monkey D. Luffy was fighting at the Corrida Coliseum. Despite, or perhaps because of his profound love for combat, Burgess also appears to be a sore loser, unable to accept defeat even when he is critically injured. He is also willing to use whatever dirty and underhanded tactics he can should he or his allies be unable to win in a fair fight, as evidenced by how he joined the rest of the Blackbeard Pirates in their 9-on-1 assault against Whitebeard, or tried to goad Sabo into approaching him by taunting him about Ace's last request and him not being there to save his brother so he could stab the revolutionary with a hidden knife. He has a much more serious nature than his captain, as he scolded Blackbeard for laughing when they lost the Straw Hat Pirates. However, he seems to have become quite laid back after the timeskip shown when meeting Monkey D. Luffy in the Corrida Coliseum hallways and letting his captain talk to him. Late into the Dressrosa arc, Burgess also displayed a ruthless opportunistic mindset, willing to take advantage of Luffy's weakened state to kill him and take his devil fruit, despite the fact that Luffy was the country's best chance at saving them from the oppressive Doflamingo. This is further shown when he tried to kill Sabo just to get his hands on the Mara Mara no Mi when he interfered in his attempts to kill Luffy, believing that it was his right to have the fruit. He is also very determined and stubborn as he ignored his injured state and infiltrated Sabo's ship and so he could find the Revolutionary Army's headquarters and managed to stay hidden for days before informing his comrades. After Blackbeard had become an emperor and began going by the new title of Admiral, Burgess repeatedly forgets to address Blackbeard by this moniker and habitually calls him Captain Teach, prompting Luffy to remind him several times in the past not to do this. As the helmsman of the Blackbeard Pirates and one of its founding members, Burgess is an extremely powerful pirate. After the timeskip, he has become the captain of the first ship of the Blackbeard Pirates, and is also, according to Gats, one of the 10 Titanic captains that personally guard the Emperor, Blackbeard. He defeated every challenger he fought in Mocktown with ease and, after the timeskip, won the A block of the Corrida Coliseum Battle Royale within seconds, all without a single injury. His mere presence at the Corrida Coliseum was enough to terrify all the nearby gladiators, mighty warriors in their own right. Based off of his attempt on Luffy's life for the Gomu Gomu no Mi and his conversation with Sabo, he is also capable of stealing devil fruit abilities from others. Burgess has tremendous physical strength. He easily ripped an entire building off its foundations and threw it at Ace across a great distance, while carrying it in the air. Burgess also possesses massive endurance and durability, as seen when he took a direct hit from Magura Gura no Mi strike from former Emperor Edward Newgate, as well as Fleet Admiral Sengoku's shockwave in his Buddha form without suffering much damage. At some point after the Dressrosa arc, Burgess ate the Riki Riki no Mi, a Paramecia-type devil fruit that grants him superhuman strength. This enhances Burgess' already immense strength to the point where he can casually lift a mountain over his head and throw it a far distance. Burgess possesses the ability to use Busashoku Haki and Kenbunshoku Haki. Captain of the second ship Shiryu of the Rain. Shiryu of the Rain is one of the 10 Titanic captains of the Blackbeard Pirates, as captain of the second ship. He was originally introduced as the ex-head jailer of Impel Down, who had himself been imprisoned on level 6 death row for his excessive, murderous violence against prisoners. When temporarily released to help Magellan quell the prison riot caused by Monkey D, Luffy and Marshall D, Teach coming to Impel Down, he chose to go against what he was ordered and instead assist the Blackbeard Pirates, ultimately deciding to join them. Shiryu is a bloodthirsty psychopath who seems to enjoy killing people anytime he can. He used to exploit his head jailer privileges extensively to massacre many prisoners within the walls of Impel Down, just for sheer pleasure, justifying his acts by reasoning that none would care if he disposed of trash. He further had no qualms about cutting down his ex-subordinates, starting to do so right after being released from prison and initially giving a sarcastic apology after the fact. Shiryu is fond of his blade and seems to relish testing it against others, even if they are far below his level. He is also shown taking personal care in maintaining his sword. Generally, Shiryu tends to keep a calm, cool-headed demeanor even in tense or unexpected situations, his relaxed smile rarely leaving his face. His cautious side is shown by his warning the Blackbeard Pirates not to underestimate Magellan or when lecturing them on how they should have prepared themselves more properly for the New World. By nature, Shiryu appears rather deceitful and treasonous. While having since become a fairly loyal member of the Blackbeard Pirates, he originally voiced, in a joking manner, an intent to leave the crew if Blackbeard failed to obtain Whitebeard's power, showing a propensity to mistrust and doubt those who have yet to earn his respect. After Blackbeard's success, however, Shiryu remarked on how joining him was a good decision. As former head jailer of Impel Down, Shiryu held one of the highest ranks in the fortress. He commanded comparable respect to the chief warden himself until his abuse of power led to him being stripped of his post and privileges. After the timeskip, Shiryu has become one of Blackbeard's 10 Titanic captains that personally guard the Emperor, gaining great authority in the crew as captain of its second ship. Combat-wise, Shiryu is attested to be very powerful, not least by his new standing in an emperor's crew. Shiryu is shown to have formidable speed, seen with him cutting down several impel-down jailers in a split second. In terms of endurance, alongside the rest of the Blackbeard crew, he was able to take a quick shockwave from Whitebeard and later a direct hit from Sengoku's shockwave in his Daibutsu form, being sent back a great distance and then getting up with little trouble. Shiryu is extremely proficient in wielding his sword, having used it to kill many impel-down prisoners on mere whims. When his sword was returned to him after his long-term imprisonment, Shiryu immediately killed several of his ex-subordinates in a split second, demonstrating great precision and dexterity in his swordsmanship. Shiryu has the powers of the Suk no Mi, a Paramecia-class devil fruit, allowing him to turn himself and whatever he is holding invisible. He acquired the ability soon after his crew had murdered its previous user, Absalom. With it, he is able to cut opponents without being spotted, taking them by surprise. He personally holds the power in high regard in terms of usefulness. Shiryu's weapon of choice is an odachi called Ryu, qualified as a meta.it had been confiscated from him due to his imprisonment in level 6 but was returned to him when he was released to deal with Blackbeard. Captain of the third ship Van Augur. Van Augur, nicknamed the Supersonic, is the sniper of the Blackbeard Pirates, as well as one of the 10 Titanic captains and captain of the third ship of the crew. Van Augur is extremely calm and analytical even during battle. He very rarely changes his facial expression. However, in his confrontation with Ace on Banero Island, he showed a darker side, showing a devilish grin after a failed kill shot. Like his crewmates, Augur is a heavy believer in fate. He displays very strong loyalty to Blackbeard and the rest of the crew. He has no qualms about ending the lives of some seagulls to assert his luck on whether they would die from his shots or not. As the sniper of the Blackbeard Pirates and one of its founding members, Van Augur is a powerful pirate. After the timeskip, he has become one of the 10 Titanic captains of the crew that personally guard the Emperor Blackbeard, and has gained great authority in the crew as captain of its third ship. Van Augur is shown to have great speed in shooting and running, as he did during his battle against Portgastes, by dodging their fire bullets. His powerful eyesight makes him a valuable asset as a scout for the crew, as he managed to spot a Kainu on board an approaching marine battleship. He also demonstrated superhuman stamina for his slim figure when he withstood one of Gura Gura no Mi of Whitebeard shockwaves and Fleet Admiral Sengoku's shockwave with the rest of the Blackbeard Pirates, and recovered quickly. Augur ate the Wapu Wapu no Mi, a Paramecia-type devil fruit that allows him to teleport himself and others from place to place. Van Augur uses a rifle called Senriku, literally meaning thousand lands, in battle. The rifle is extra long in length, and allows extraordinary long-range shooting. Combined with his eyesight and immense marksmanship skills, this makes Senriku a lethal long-range weapon. However, he also used it for point-blank attack against Whitebeard. Captain of the fourth ship Avalo Pizarro. Avalo Pizarro, also known as the Corrupt King, is one of the 10 Titanic captains, and the captain of the fourth ship of the Blackbeard Pirates. He was one of the criminals who was given a life sentence in level 6 of Impel Down, as his crimes were so atrocious he had to be effectively erased from history. Prior to his life of crime, he was once a king of a North Blue kingdom that overthrew him for his despotic ways. He has since been freed by Marshal D. Teach and has become a member of the Blackbeard Pirates. He is currently one of the 10 Titanic captains, and the captain of the fourth ship of the Blackbeard Pirates. So far in all of his appearances, he is always seen smiling, even when attacking Whitebeard. He also has quite a desire to become leader, as he was daring enough to ask Teach to let him be the captain instead. He also seems to be cool-headed and react to most situations with a casual attitude, as he showed no signs of concern or anger when Moria and his zombies were rampaging on Hakinosu, only commenting that they were noisy while eating and asking questions to his men about Moria. During his time as a king, he was corrupt and selfish, using royal privileges for his self-serving purposes that led to his people impeaching him. Pizarro's abilities have not yet been fully defined, but he was powerful enough to be contained in level 6 of Impel Down when caught by the world government. Another testament to his power is the fact that, when Blackbeard recruited the level 6 prisoners, he only chose the ones that could survive when pitted against everyone else in a free-for-all battle. Thus, Pizarro is one of the strongest level 6 prisoners. As a king of a North Blue country, he had authority over his people, though his abuse of it led to them overthrowing him, stripping him of such privileges. After becoming captain of the 4th ship of the Blackbeard Pirates, he gained the authority associated with the status. Pizarro has superhuman durability, as seen when he took a direct hit from a Gura Gura Nomi strike from former Emperor Edward Newgate, having taken a direct hit from Sengoku's shockwave bursts in Daibutsu form and remaining mostly untroubled by the attack. Captain of the 5th ship Lafitte. Lafitte, nicknamed Demon Sheriff, is the navigator, chief of staff, one of the 10 Titanic captains, and captain of the 5th ship of the Blackbeard Pirates. He is also a former West Blue policeman known for countless acts of police brutality, which resulted in his exile from that sea. He lived in West Blue and worked as a sheriff, but was exiled because he was excessively cruel and violent. In contradiction to his past, Lafitte now seems to be a calm and affable individual that is constantly smiling. He apparently did not attempt to assist in fighting alongside his crew when Port Gasteace attacked, whistling as he ran away with the rest of the crew to a safe watching distance. When Teach ordered his crew to attack, Lafitte gleefully smiled as he shot Whitebeard to death, and also when Teach used his newfound Gura Gura Nomi to wreak havoc on the already devastated Marineford as Teach taunted the Marines about sinking their headquarters. Despite being a malevolent pirate, Lafitte has an extremely refined and sophisticated personality, always speaking in a polite and courteous manner even when threatening people such as Avalo Pizarro for wanting to replace Teach as captain. He also reprimanded Burgess for his habit of referring Teach as captain instead of admiral. Like the rest of the Blackbeard Pirates, Lafitte believes strongly in luck, fate, and dreams. As a former sheriff, Lafitte had authority and power over citizens. However, due to his extreme cruelty, he lost this authority when he was exiled. After the timeskip, he is officially the captain of the Blackbeard Pirates' 5th Fleet/ship and part of a group of 10 Titanic captains that personally guard the Emperor, Blackbeard. Although his combat abilities are unknown, he must be someone very powerful. The fact that Blackbeard refuses to accept any weakling in his crew, even going so far as to reject Super Rookie Jewelry Bonnie with a bounty of belly 140 million, is further testament to Lafitte's power. He seems to have confidence in his abilities as he threatened to kill Avalo Pizarro, one of the most powerful criminals in level 6. He was also quickly recognized by Vice Admiral Tsuru. It was stated during the Marineford arc that he was able to hypnotize Marines to open the gates of justice for him. As a navigator, Lafitte guides the rest of the Blackbeard Pirates through the open seas. His level of navigational skills are as of yet unknown, though it is expected he is a significantly skilled navigator to navigate through the Grand Line including the seas of the New World. Interestingly enough, despite his occupation, he is not seen carrying a log pose, which is essential for navigating in the Grand Line. He is able to quickly move in a similar fashion to the Sara technique as shown in Blackbeard's fight with Ace. Lafitte has been shown to possess a large amount of endurance, being able to continue fighting even after taking one of Whitebeard's Gura Gura Nomi shockwaves and a direct hit from Fleet Admiral Sengoku's shockwaves with the rest of the Blackbeard Pirates. Lafitte has eaten a devil fruit that may allow him to obtain wings and fly, though this has not been confirmed. He showed his ability when the Blackbeard Pirates invaded Impel Down. Lafitte carries a cane that he spins to accompany his tap dancing from time to time. It is yet unknown if it can be used as a weapon. Lafitte was using a pistol when he helped to murder Whitebeard. He was also seen holding it while keeping Marine soldiers away from Blackbeard. Captain of the 6th ship Katarina Devon. Katarina Devon, known as the Crescent Moon Hunter, was the most dangerous female pirate ever to be imprisoned in Impel Down within the entire age of pirates. She was freed by Marshal D. Teach. She is currently one of the 10 Titanic captains, and the captain of the 6th ship of the Blackbeard Pirates. Devon also seems loyal to Blackbeard after he freed her from Impel Down. She is obsessed with collecting beautiful women's heads, such as when she declared that she admired the beauty of Boa Hancock and that her head would make a wonderful trophy. Devon seems to have a romantic preference for women, as she is seen surrounding herself with adoring female admirers on Hakinosu, and was also affected by Boa Hancock's devil fruit ability. She has a sadistic side, as seen when she mocked Gecko Moria over the death of his subordinate Absalom, who she masqueraded as to give Moria a false sense of hope. Over the 2-year timeskip, Katarina Devon has become promoted to the captain of the 6th ship, serves as a testament of Teach's trust in her powers, along with granting her the authority over the lower-ranking members. Katarina Devon is stated to be the most dangerous female pirate in history, though not the same degree as Big Mom. Another testament to her power is the fact that when Blackbeard recruited the level 6 prisoners, he only chose the strongest ones that could survive when pitted against everyone else in a free-for-all battle. Thus, Katarina Devon is one of the strongest level 6 prisoners. However, she was no match for Boa Hancock. She is strong enough to injure Whitebeard using her spear, although Whitebeard was already greatly weakened at that point. She has been also shown to have great superhuman endurance, taking both the Gura Gura Nomi shock wave from Whitebeard and Sengoku's shock wave in his Buddha form and getting up rather easily. Devon ate the Inu Inu Nomi model, Kyubi no Kitsune, a mythical Zoan-type devil fruit that allows her to transform into a 9-tailed fox. With this power, she can transform into clones of people similar to the main Nomi. She is proficient with using a whip. She is seen wielding a spear or a staff when attacking Whitebeard with her crew, as it was the weapon available at the time. Captain of the 7th ship, San Juan Wolf. San Juan Wolf is an enormous giant, known as Colossal Battleship for his size, and was originally one of the legendary criminals who was given a life sentence in level 6 of Impel Down, as his crimes were so atrocious they had to effectively be erased from history itself. He was initially mentioned briefly by Emporio Ivankov. He was eventually freed from prison by Marshal D. Teach, and since then has become a member of the Blackbeard Pirates. He is currently one of the 10 Titanic captains, and the captain of the 7th ship of the Blackbeard Pirates. Although known for committing crimes that caused his existence to be erased from history, he seems to have a playful attitude, as seen when commenting that he was found when he was trying to hide behind Marine headquarters. He is also quite shy, as he acts scared when people realize who he is and continued hiding while the rest of the crew fought Whitebeard. In fact, he was the only person there who did not fight in the war. He is also prone to complaining, as shown when the Blackbeard Pirates headed to the New World. Despite his complaining and lack of participation, he is shown to be very loyal to Blackbeard. Wolf's abilities have not yet been shown, but he was powerful enough to be contained in level 6 of Impel Down when caught by the world government, where even Emporio Ivankov pointed him out as one of the most dangerous prisoners. Another testament to his power is the fact that when Blackbeard recruited the level 6 prisoners, he was one of the people that survived the battle royale, making him one of the strongest prisoners. After the timeskip, has become one of Blackbeard's 10 Titanic captains that personally guard the Emperor, gaining great authority over their 7th ship and everyone on it. As a giant, he shares their attributes, including immense strength, though to what degree is unknown. Despite his tremendous size, he was somehow able to reach Marineford without being detected until he was right behind the Marine headquarters building. Wolf ate a currently unnamed Paramecia-type devil fruit that makes him much bigger than normal giants. Despite being weak against water, he was tall enough to stand in the ocean, though Wolf did mention that doing so was exhausting to him, probably due to the devil fruit he had eaten. Captain of the 8th ship, Vasco Shot. Vasco Shot, monikered Heavy Drinker, is one of the 10 Titanic captains of the Blackbeard Pirates, as captain of its 8th ship. He was originally one of several legendary criminals given a life sentence on Impel Down's level 6, before being freed by Blackbeard and joining him. As his epithet suggests, Vasco's general bearing is that of a nonchalant, somewhat dopey drunk, having yet to be seen in a sober state. How strongly inebriation affects his personality is unknown. He does seem to hate the idea of sobering up, as he at one point suggested to his crew that they invade a town somewhere solely because he had run out of booze. However, Vasco's apparent goofiness seems to belie his viciousness, which is established by the supposed cruelty of his crimes that led to his bygone imprisonment, said to be of outstanding brutality even by the standards of Impel Down's level 6 prisoners, and as a result of which his very existence had to be erased from history. Upon his crew's arrival at the summit war of Marineford, Vasco was seen asking for permission to kill everyone present at the scene, suggesting a lust for battle. Vasco's shot has displayed a lecherous nature, such as when he tried to dissuade Devon from killing Boa Hancock, suggesting that they could have fun with her if they took her away. He also felt enough lust towards Boa Hancock to be affected by her devil fruit ability. Over the 2-year timeskip, Vasco has become one of Blackbeard's 10 Titanic captains who personally guard the Emperor, acquiring great authority in the crew as captain of its 8th ship. Next to nothing is yet known about what Vasco is capable of in combat. However, he is strong enough to have been contained in level 6 of Impel Down, where only the world's worst, most dangerous criminals are held, where Emporio Ivankov considers him very notorious. This is checked, as when Blackbeard recruited him alongside other prisoners, he chose only those who could survive when pitted against all other level 6 prisoners in a free-for-all battle royale. Vasco is shown to have impressive endurance, displayed when he took a quake shockwave from Whitebeard and thereafter one of the energy shockwaves from Sengoku's Daibutsu form, and seemingly recovered swiftly each time. Captain of the 9th Ship Doc Q. Doc Q, known as Death God, is the doctor of the Blackbeard Pirates. Ironically, he has a sick body and needs his horse, Stronger, who is just as sick as he is, to get around. He is currently one of the 10 Titanic captains and the captain of the 9th ship of the Blackbeard Pirates. You're right. A man's no better than his luck. Like the rest of his crew, Doc Q believes heavily in fate, although their views seem to center more on the belief of fortune and misfortune. Q seems to note when people are lucky or unlucky, and praises those with luck, while pitying the unlucky ones. However, he is not above changing his opinion should the circumstances prove otherwise, as seen when he notes Luffy to be lucky despite deeming him out of luck when Teach decided to target the Straw Hats. He is well aware of his ailing body, but accepts it and even laughs about it. Despite Doc Q being chronically ill from a terminal disease, he is a very powerful pirate, having earned his place in the Blackbeard Pirates' high standard for powerful individuals. In fact, as Blackbeard refuses to accept any weaklings into his crew, going so far as to reject Super Rookie Jewelry Bonnie with a bounty of belly 140 million, is a further testament to Doc Q's fighting prowess. After Blackbeard became one of the 4 emperors, Doc Q was promoted to the captain of the Blackbeard Pirates' 9th ship, granting him authority over all lower-ranking members. As the doctor of the crew, Doc Q has the medical skills to help them. When Jesus Burgess suffered massive amount of injuries from Sabo's Mara Mara no Mi, he gave specific instructions to Shiryu and Lafitte to bring Doc Q to treat him. Doc Q seems to be a skilled chemist, as he developed an explosive solutions he infused inside apples that will explode in one bite. He can trick ignorant bystanders into eating his apples, and should they pick one with the explosive, they explode in a gruesome manner. Doc Q ate the Shirku no Mi, a paramecia-type devil fruit that allows him to afflict others with diseases. Doc Q wields a double-bladed scythe, which he used to attack Whitebeard at the Summit War of Marineford. Captain of the 10th ship is still unknown, but we know for the fact that he will be a powerful character, as Blackbeard only recruits the strong people. It was seen when they captured Jewelry Bonnie, a member of the worst generation with a bounty of belly 140 million, who was then deemed too weak to join their crew. Members of Blackbeard Pirates. Kuzan, better known by his former alias Akiji, is a former Marine admiral and the first one to be revealed. He was nominated by Sengoku for the position of Fleet Admiral. However, after losing the position to Sakazuki, he resigned from the Marines. He is currently a member of the Blackbeard Pirates. Kuzan is a very laid-back man, showing no shock or surprise from almost anything. His lack of interest and lazy justice, Darakekita Seiji, often leads others to believe he cannot possibly be a Marine of such a high ranking, which causes them to underestimate him, making him all the more dangerous. However, if he deems a situation worthy, he will take action. During the Whitebeard War at Marineford, Akiji grudgingly shredded his usual lax and friendly nature for a more ruthless and aggressive personality, repeatedly targeting Whitebeard himself with his high nomi, managing to severely injure Diamond Jozu and generally hampering any attempts at rescue or escape for the invading pirate fleets. Akiji is a compassionate man, helping Tunjit at Long Ringland to cross the ocean with his ability and even letting Nico Robin escape the buster call on O'Hara by providing a small boat while also a trail of ice for her to leave safely, even sabotaging the ships that were about to go after her. Despite being a marine, this compassion can even extend to pirates as long as their actions are mostly benevolent. He chose not to arrest or kill Luffy because the young pirate had defeated Crocodile beforehand, thus saving Arabasta from the latter's malevolence. The thing called justice changes its shape depending on where you stand. In contrast to his former colleague, Fleet Admiral Sakazuki, Kuzan sometimes tolerates compromises with pirates. He is disgusted by Sakazuki's brutal actions in dealing with situations such as the O'Hara incident, calling him a fool. While he follows lazy justice, he does understand the position his ranking puts him in and does not hesitate to do what is necessary for the needs of the Marines, even if reluctantly. He froze his former friend Jaguar D. Sol to death during the O'Hara incident following this reasoning. As a Marine, Kuzan was a faithful follower of the world government. His motto used to be burning/fired up justice, Moegaru Seiji, before switching to lazy justice. He always tried to follow orders, but sometimes found his own ideals in opposition to them. Even as Kuzan followed his orders, he would occasionally exhibit a sense of mercy and honor other world government officials did not. Like many characters in One Piece, for example, Jaguar D. Sol and Smoker, after witnessing the senseless murder of many innocent people, Kuzan has come to realize the depths to which the world government will sink to accomplish their goals. His relaxed demeanor while performing the more macabre of his duties is similar to that of Borsellino, making him one of the more complicated characters in the series. Despite not really wanting the position of Fleet Admiral, he was even more opposed to Sakazuki getting the position due to the latter's immense ruthlessness and dueled his fellow admiral rather than letting him take it. After being defeated, Kuzan chose to resign from the Marines rather than stay under Sakazuki's command. Having left the Marines and realizing just how truly corrupt the world government had become after the timeskip, Kuzan became a wanderer. He still cares for his friends, rescuing Smoker from Don Quixote da Flamingo's fury during a visit to Punk Hazard. However, Kuzan appears to be now involved in shady dealings with pirates, having joined forces with the Blackbeard Pirates for unknown reasons. Doflamingo was convinced that Kuzan had something planned while Smoker thought the same, as he was aware of Kuzan's involvement in the underworld. Kuzan reassured Smoker that he had not changed at all, cryptically stating that he could still accomplish things as an independent observer. While an admiral, Kuzan held power over the thousands upon thousands of lower-ranked Marine personnel, his status being just below Fleet Admiral Sengoku's. He could command whole fleets, have a say on the overall strategy of the organization, and issue special orders, like the enactment of a buster call on any island he deemed a threat, and delegate to lower-status government agents the same privilege. With his resignation, of course, came the forfeiture of any such powers. Combat-wise, Kuzan is among the strongest characters to have appeared in the series, having been held with his fellow admirals as the greatest military power that the world government and Marine headquarters could bring to bear. As one of the Marines' chiefest assets, his departure left a notably detrimental impact on their force, as supported by the Five Elders calling him an enormous power in their dismay over Kuzan's affiliation with the Blackbeard Pirates. Even during Kuzan's days as a vice admiral over 2 decades ago, his strength was already considered abnormal for someone of his rank, as illustrated by him taking down Jaguar D. Sol, an ex-vice admiral, an extremely powerful giant, with great ease and in a mere 2 attacks, after his foe had fled at Kuzan's mere sight. In the Summit War, Kuzan's power was well exemplified against the Whitebeard Pirates, with him engaging Whitebeard, the world's strongest pirate, head-to-head and holding his own, albeit briefly, until Jozu's interference. He would go on to battle Jozu, one of Whitebeard's most formidable men, and defeat him with relative ease upon exploiting an instant's distraction of his foe, robbing him of an arm and incapacitating him for the total rest of the war. Ultimately, Kuzan himself emerged from the war almost entirely unscathed, with nothing but a small bruise to show for it. Against Akainu, Kuzan would prove his then-fellow admirals equal in strength. A one-on-one duel between the two saw them meeting one another blow for blow through most of it, such that it took 10 entire days to settle. Though Akainu was the one to emerge victorious, both men sustained grievous injuries. After the time skip and having joined hands with Blackbeard, Kuzan has become a powerful asset of the Emperor's crew. In Totoland, Kuzan managed to freeze up and defeat Charlotte Cracker, one of Big Mom's strongest commanders with an belly 860 million bounty, without coming to harm himself. Kuzan ate the Hai Hainomi, a Logia-type devil fruit that allows him to create, control, and transform his body into ice. Compared to most Logia users who, when transformed, can let physical attacks pass through their fluid bodies, Kuzan is more easily hit since ice is a solid element. However, he still goes unharmed by enemy attacks that are not infused with Haki. Instead of dissipating out of harm's way, his body shatters apart when struck, only to reform as effortlessly as any Logia user thereafter. Kuzan is able to form constructs out of ice. In combat, Kuzan can create weaponry, primarily forming swords and spears, but he can also make more elaborate constructs, like a giant pheasant to send flying at enemies. Kuzan can also bypass his weakness to water and falling therein, by freezing it before he can sink below the surface. Not only does this keep him from drowning, it lets him prevent enemies from escaping by sea, by freezing their ships in place, or render the sea a solid battleground for entire armies to fight on. Even by Logia standards, this ability has impressive potential. When used excessively for 10 days straight, it was able to permanently alter the very climate of half an island, rendering it a frozen, uninhabitable wasteland with constantly raging blizzards. As a former Marine admiral, Kuzan is a highly skilled Haki user. During the Summit War, Kuzan was seen using advanced-grade Busashoko Haki to negate an extremely powerful quake shockwave sent out by Whitebeard, by generating, with his fellow admirals, an emitted shield combination of their 3 Haki. Kuzan possesses the ability to use Kenbunchaku Haki. Kuzan has been shown to be adept at using weaponry formed from ice, like a hand-wielded sword, to clash with another swordsman. Stronger is the horse that Doc Q rides on. Because Doc Q is seemingly always sick, he rides on Stronger all the time, since the doctor tends to collapse if left unsupported for some time. However, Stronger is just as sick as he is. He is classified as a Type A creature, big friendly. Stronger is very loyal to his rider, Doc Q, as he is always seen carrying him, whether during a fight with Ace or after being poisoned by Magellan. He, like his owner, seems to always be sick. Despite being a very sick horse, Stronger has the strength and stamina to carry around Doc Q for an extended period of time and only succumb to exhaustion on an occasional basis. He can also gallop with extraordinary speed while carrying his master, as shown in the anime when Teach ordered his crew to kill Whitebeard. Stronger enabled his master to land a hit on Whitebeard after Shiryu. Despite his sickly constitution, Stronger has great endurance, being completely submerged in Magellan's deadly venom, and also took a shockwave attack from Sengoku. Stronger ate the Uma Uma no Mi model, Pegasus, a mythical Zoan-type devil fruit that allows him to transform into a Pegasus hybrid and a full Pegasus at will. With his powers, he was able to carry both Doc Q and Blackbeard while airborne, albeit the latter being of crushing weight for him. Kikapatsu is a member of the Blackbeard Pirates. Kikapatsu is a round middle-aged man with a large nose and a thick, blonde, fluffy beard that looks like cotton candy. He wears a bandana, a vest and pants held by suspenders. Kikapatsu appears to be a jolly and carefree man, showing no reservation while sitting right next to Blackbeard. He loves drinking plum beer, but his nose turns red when he drinks it. Maki is a member of the Blackbeard Pirates. Maki is a young woman with shoulder-length purple hair. She wears an orange cowboy hat with a light green plume, a pink tank top, a white miniskirt and black high heels. Maki sat on a couch with Blackbeard, Tori and Kikapatsu when Blackbeard conversed with Gecko Moria. Maki appears to enjoy cozying up to her admiral, Blackbeard. She was amused watching Gecko Moria's fight with her crewmates. Tori is a member of the Blackbeard Pirates. Tori is a young woman with long blonde hair. She wears a white dress and a red knit cap with sunglasses on it. Not much is known about Torai. Torai sat on a couch with Blackbeard, Maki and Kikapatsu when Blackbeard conversed with Gecko Moria. Torai seems to enjoy drinking as she is seen holding bottles of alcohol in both hands. She has a habit of emptying bottles quickly but has a strong enough tolerance that it doesn't cause her to change complexion. The Peachbeard Pirates is a pirate crew under Captain Peachbeard that affiliated themselves with the Blackbeard Pirates. They are strong enough to be part of the Blackbeard Pirates, who are known for recruiting extremely strong individuals. Taking advantage of the absence of the king, the royal guards, and the marines while they traveled to participate in the revelry, the Peachbeard Pirates attacked the Lulusia kingdom and the port town. Despite the citizens claiming the town was poor and begging for the pirates to leave, the Peachbeard Pirates were enticed by the mention of celestial dragon's gold and continued destroying the town. Unknown to them, however, some commanders of the Revolutionary Army noticed their actions and arrived at the town to help the citizens. Initially, the pirates were worried about their appearance, but they soon became arrogant as the Bello Betty rallied the citizens to fight for themselves. After the revolutionaries disarmed the pirates, the citizens attacked the invaders. After their defeat, the crew left their captain behind on Lulusia and fled, while Peachbeard was tied up by the revolutionaries, who suggested the citizens should claim his belly 52 million bounty. The Big Pirates are a non-canon pirate crew aligned with the Blackbeard Pirates. They fought under Marshal D. Teach in the Payback War and tried to snuff out the remnants of the Whitebeard Pirates after. The Big Pirates are a well-known crew and built up a reputation for themselves, as the Whitebeard Pirates were surprised that such a big name, the Captain Bad One Gracie, had aligned with Blackbeard. They are a strong crew composed of a captain who awakened his devil fruit abilities, a nunchuck master who has the power to control people's body fat, and a capoeira master from the Mink tribe, along with other average subordinates. However, they were overcome in battle by the Straw Hat Pirates and Hakuto. Bad One Gracie is the captain of the Big Pirates. Gracie is a cold, ruthless captain who has little patience for his subordinates. Though he praises them when they succeed, he looks down upon them and others as weak and incapable if they fail. Gracie is also a savage fighter willing to destroy others to achieve his goals. Gracie harbors a deep hatred for the color white and all things white, like white bean paste and milk. He likes the color black and things that are black, like black bean paste and coffee. Gracie is considered by the Whitebeard Pirates as a big name to be fighting under Teach. Gracie ate the Ute no Mi, a Paramecia-class devil fruit that allows him to turn anything into a gun or cannon. Like Doflamingo, Gracie has awakened his abilities and can turn other objects or surrounding areas into firearms. The Big Pirates interrupted the Straw Hat Pirates and the Islanders' celebration, attacking Luffy and Hakuto. Gracie praised Nairo after the nunchuck wielder immobilized the crew. Gracie told Hakuto that he would put out Ace's fire and call the Whitebeard Pirates for failing to save Ace at Marineford. The Big Pirates retreated after Frankie used coup de bout to disperse them. Gracie searched for Ace's fire and was confronted by Hakuto. Gracie shot the island's protector, knocking him to the ground. Luffy came to Hakuto's aid, so Gracie galled in Germa 66 to protect him. The Big Pirates in Germa fought the Straw Hat Pirates and Hakuto, and Nairo and Noir were defeated by Zoro and Sanji. Gracie called them pathetic before facing Luffy. Gracie revealed his fruit's awakening and covered the island with cannons. He bombarded the crew with gunfire, using great four-way firing, and knocked Luffy down with the attack. He continued to rain bullets down upon his enemies and succeeded at putting out Ace's fire with the onslaught, but he had to stop when Hakuto charged him with Spectral Slash. Gracie declared that they had lost for failing to protect the flame, but it reignited when Luffy vowed to protect the island. Luffy combined the power of Ace's fire and a glowing blue light emitted by Hakuto's sword to defeat Gracie with Gomu Gomu no Red Hawk. Capoeira Master Noir is a member of the Big Pirates. Noir is playful and affectionate like other minks, hugging and biting other people. He is loyal to his captain, but he likes soft-serve vanilla ice cream despite Gracie's hatred for white things. Like all minks, Noir is a natural-born warrior and can use Electro. Noir fights with capoeira, a kicking and dance-based martial art, and he is considered at a master level. He also has claws. Noir fought under Gracie's command with his crew as reinforcements for the Blackbeard Pirates when they clashed with the Whitebeard Pirates. The big pirates came to Tamashibi Island in search of the remnants of the Whitebeard Pirates. They confronted the Straw Hat Pirates and Hakuto while they were having a celebration. Noir attacked Hakuto's blind spot before biting Brook and Usopp. The crew retreated after Frankie used coup de bout to search for Ace's flame. The big pirates find Ace's flame and Hakuto, and Gracie shoots him. Luffy comes to Hakuto's aid, fighting Nairo and Noir and pushing them back. Germa 66 came to the big pirates' aid, and the rest of the Straw Hat Pirates came to assist Luffy and Hakuto. Noir bit and hugged Sanji, and the cook got him off with sexy fire. Sanji defeated him with Koi no Meteor Strike, and Noir fell while saying that he loved soft-serve vanilla ice cream. Nunchuck Master Nairo is a member of the Big Pirates. Nairo is an allegiant subordinate who follows his captain's orders. He likes collecting swords and stealing them from his opponents. He also loves white daifuku, but he hides this from his captain because Gracie hates all things white. Nairo ate the Pacha Pacha no Mi, a paramecia-type devil fruit that allows him to control his own or his opponent's amount of body fat. Nairo fights with nunchucks and is considered a master at using them. Nairo fought under Gracie's command with his crew as reinforcements for the Blackbeard Pirates when they clashed with the Whitebeard Pirates. Nairo and the crew attacked the Straw Hat Pirates and Hakuto while they held a celebration. Luffy and Zoro confronted Nairo, but he turned the whole crew obese with his cholesterol ring attack. He explained his fruit's abilities, but Frankie stopped him with nipple light before he could immobilize Hakuto. With the crew unable to move, Gracie praised Nairo, and when Luffy tried to punch him, Nairo easily dodged. The big pirates retreated after Frankie used coup de bout and began to search for Ace's flame.